Carolina, the Kings of the Queen City here in Charlotte.
Tar Heels getting their ACC championship caps, their championship T-shirts, the trophy sitting along the third baseline. It will be awarded to your 2022 ACC champion North Carolina Tar Heels. So we got the all-tournament team yet to be announced. If I had to make a bet, I would say Vance Honeycutt is prime candidate for player of the tournament. We will have that and more in our postgame show.
Does it matter?
Here from Charlotte, North Carolina, your ACC champions, and 9-5. They win it over NC State here this afternoon. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll get you the all-tournament team.
Yeah,
And more here as we wrap things up. 15 games in a row. In Charlotte, it all concludes.
Okay, you got it.
North Carolina taking home the crown. ACC champions are your Tar Heels. We'll be back with more from Charlotte after this timeout.
So it's game time, and you got a bunch of rabid fans.
Dad, we're hungry.
You head out to fire up burgers and dogs and go from grill master to MVP. And then you realize you're out of GAS. Yup, out of gas on game day. What do? Drop a big bro box on it. Feed a family of 4 with 8 pieces of chicken, biscuits, fixins, and tea. It's go time.
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Oh, hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com for Learfield.
SyncMyGame.com.
SyncMyGame.com.
And we're back with breaking news. The new Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an improved taste and 0 calories, the new Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan. So make sure you... Jim. Jim.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available on the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts, as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download our app store and listen today.
The North Carolina Tar Heels, 9-5 winners over NC State this afternoon at Truist Field. And UNC has their 8th ACC title to their belt and their second in the last 4 years, thanks to really one heck of an offensive performance early in this game. Gabe Genovese with you alongside Aaron Brunk. Appreciate everyone who tuned in all week long here at Truist Field. What an ACC tournament it was. And for North Carolina, 8 runs early in this game. Aaron Brunk, 8 runs on 7 hits. And this Tar Heel team just up and down the lineup all week long, continue to hit the ball well. This
Kevin, just one player.
Dropped a single, then the cleanup hitter, Vance Honeycutt, a 2-run home run in the first to take a 2-1 lead after NC State had the first run of the game in the top of the first. And then in the bottom half of the 6th inning, 6 runs on 5 hits, bottom half of the 2nd inning, I should say. 6 runs on 5 hits, including the 3-run home run from Honeycutt once again, who started this game 2 for 2 with 5 RBIs to take a 8-1 lead on 6 runs in the 7th. And North Carolina never looked back from that point on.
Yep, hot start. Never took their foot off the gas. They're the ACC tournament champions, and they are playing sensational baseball. You couldn't ask for any more from any team in the country headed into regionals next week.
This pitching staff for North Carolina gave up 5 runs today, but coming into today's game, they gave up just 4 in the previous 3 games in this tournament. Credit not only to the bats, but this Tar Heel pitching staff as we get the ACC Baseball Championship all-tournament team handed to us. I'm just going to read off the entire list real quick, and then we'll talk about some of these North Carolina and NC State guys. Brendan Tinsman, the catcher for Wake Forest, leads off this list. Blue James Group in the 3rd for NC State. We saw today at first base, Jeff Whaler at Pitt, the 2nd baseman for the Panthers. Brock Wilken at 3rd for Wake Forest. Then a couple of Tar Heels. Actually, the rest of this list, besides for John Bertrand, the pitcher for Notre Dame on this all ACC Baseball Championship.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin, is that going with the lighting situation right there?
Yeah, unless somebody remembers something else from yesterday. Yeah.
I don't remember feeling right. Yeah, I know.
Sadly, so graduated 6 years ago.
Until we find out.
Or there be
Should be staying, right?
The men's basketball, it's like literally while we're still on the court. Like, the next month before PDP, CFP. Oh. Ooh, Tennessee brought out the black uniforms for the ACC finale today. They're definitely. It's definitely fresh. It's not.
Yeah, they're probably too. Oh, we're probably too now. SEC screen for Texas. They'll probably host first the last 7 Super Bowl. It'll be probably 10, 11, 12 a while there.
Yeah. Like the partner jerseys that they have with the orange Tennessee across and full whites. Those are good. Yeah. It's the orange tops. They're great. Say the state with the red numbers, red on red. I mean, like, but I would like it if it was like a blackout with white on the inside. Yeah, I hate pictures so much. If they would have worn them today, like the novelty of like baseball color rush, like, yeah, I could get behind. They should have. I will say that I like those more than the Vegas they had. But all in all, it's like it did like the green color, the ones yesterday. Yeah. Like it was a sudden change of pace. Jerseys were, but they were.
Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3 4. Test test test.
Thank you. Regarding I cannot stand the game. I get it. I don't want to do it. I hate it. The red just comes in with the camera, which makes it so tough to read. It is the worst thing. They make me want to not like. Yeah.
Where you stand on the color or red on red?
It's so I can bear it, but we were just talking about it. I was defending them 2 days ago, talking to Roddy Jones in a conversation because he asked me about Notre Dame's greens. So like in that context, sure, give me the red on red.
Yeah.
Over the green on.
And today, yes.
With the white pant.
I wouldn't have gone white pants. I would have gone if Carolina going.
If you're going red, go all red.
Blue. You got to go red.
Firmly against like the powder, like the Carolina blue ones are fine. Like cream powder blue, those are a little different than powder blue. But like I'll deal with it. No, I don't.
I'm on softball league with this like it was originally supposed to be playing Tri Sports.
My thing was the pitch started moving in the Little League out. I had one hit in Little League over 4 years. They literally just threw me out there for defense to pitch and to get hit. That's all it was. And half the time he would throw the pitch up. I think I would take a practice swing. Didn't realize they hadn't come in yet. So they gave me a second strike. So like if you ask me to play some decent right field for you, I could definitely do that. Now, probably not. There's a reason why I think I'll go. Yeah. The other thing we can do. I'll go like skip a rock now. Just like, oh, yeah. The little weed thing I had outside the media box. I was just trying it, and I realized every single time I played at home derby on these sports, my heart is so. It's like I can try for 65 now, but if I get past 20 pitches and I'm still trying to jump 65, I might as well just take my arm off and face it. It's at 68 and they're like, it's here, and they're just starting to swing.
Get the green ball. give me Nashville, give me Knoxville. I'll have you take us any of those things I can actually go.
Georgia Southern.
Southern, yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's quite southern.
Yeah, no, it's not super close. I mean, it's closer than Nashville.
I have family in Johnson City, so like, I can get there.
Yeah, I was looking yesterday and my dad lives in South Carolina now, like down by the beach, and I was looking at the different places and I had no idea where Georgia Southern was. It's like less than an hour from my dad's place. So I was like, oh, let's do that one.
There you go.
Or Greenville.
So I work outside, just running around, hoping I have some sort of warm.
Georgia Southern University is in Statesboro.
It's like Southeast Georgia.
Yeah.
I was hoping near Savannah.
Yeah, that's like the closest big city to it.
Let me see.
I'm 6'3" and you see me coming after you, you better.
Let's have it. 410. Mitchell Street. Power in Savannah.
If even.
That Luke was screaming baseball. I thought he said meatball. It sounded like
probably
it. And the next
closer.
people got a meatball. I was like, okay, kid, keep saying it.
It's like 5.5 hours from my mom's place in Southport. It's 5:17 from my house. Bro, how? Yeah, probably. 8:30.
Interesting. And then that's it. I'll try and get some persuasion. I agree.
Evening.
Just make it so much easier.
Sure.
Randy Jordan Beck is wearing jersey number 10 because his own black jersey number 27 was stolen in
That classic situation. Sure.
that's why
Because he's telling his people how much he's happy for them for being here. And the important thing is that they're having fun. Oh, absolutely. I completely agree.
I think that it's got to be up there with that Florida State one in 17.
No.
He struck out what, like 12?
Like, I definitely voted for Villain for all tournament team. Like, he freaking deserves it.
I would have if I didn't validate it.
You turned about it.
You have time. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, I wrote in like
With the process of what?
not that I'm
fill this out.
Okay, it's not like it's not.
It's a little easier when the game's 9-1. Last year when it was a 1-0.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was literally screaming in my room.
Yeah, just a problem.
They got Remington the dog next to the trophy. I love it. Yeah, what was it? Austin Murray forgot to tag it third or something like that. I
think he went a step early and rightfully like stopped and went back, but then
getting caught. Yeah. I was screaming at my TV about that. It's also weird seeing that Duke won that tournament, and then this year they basically finished almost that last.
They were not Boston College.
Oh yeah. No, he wasn't. It was weird. It's like and then like the only solidified. Yeah. I thought Marcus Thompson would be at least a decent start, and he has like a 6 ERA this year, and everything backed up. Luke Fox too. Just that's why I had a feeling.
Jonas, are there actually like media people cheering?
no, I think it was the other house.
Okay, that's what I thought.
All right, NC State is at least on the elevator. You're the other.
We have a guy that sets up in Wisconsin. He's like, "Luke Fox, you're in Wisconsin. So I'm gonna root for him." I was like, "Yeah, he's actually here, buddy."
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with the NC State post-game press conference. If you're on Zoom, we'll try to get to you if we have time. If we don't have questions here, use the raise your hand function, please. If you're in the room, just raise your hand and Grace will bring you the mic. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Avent and then take questions.
Just proud of the way our guys played to not only come back in this game and a game that just didn't start out the way anybody wanted to. And that's very disappointing and very tough to take in a game with packed with so much emotion. So just proud of how they stayed the course. Came back, I thought Carlson threw outstanding for North Carolina. And I thought he was really, really good. And we were a little taxed in the pitching department, and proud of Whitaker and Willinson trying to come back, but they were a little bit on fumes with playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. They were a little bit on fumes. So appreciate their efforts in trying to come back, but just wasn't good.
All right, we'll take questions here in the room, front row.
Devontae, obviously, today's results not what you guys would have wanted, but a strong week. You get to the championship game, have a few really good games. Just, do you feel like this was a good week in terms of building momentum heading into the NCAA tournament play next week for you guys?
Yeah. I think it was a very good week. We all played hard. We had fun, and today's loss definitely hurt. But I think now it's just a matter of forgetting and moving on and being ready for next week and trying to just play baseball and see how far we can go.
Background.
Coach, I just wanted to ask you about Dylan was outing today, how he's been very good for you guys this week and how everything kind of just came together and how well he pitched for you guys today after the early issues that you had.
Yeah, he pitched unbelievable. I don't know how much he went. I think he went like maybe 5-6 innings. Like not many pitches. If I had my glasses, I could tell you like 60 pitches or something. It wasn't many. And he was unbelievable. And and he's a back end guy. So for a guy like him to go in the fourth inning, that's unusual. That's what I thought the best thing of what he did is he went into a game that he's not used to being in that situation. He was just unbelievable. And, anyway, that guy has been pretty special the last couple of years.
There on the left. Jones.
Devontae, you guys were in a similar position last year. You made the championship game, then you reset and made it all the way to Omaha. What's that reset process look like? How do you build off that experience from having done it a year ago?
I think the biggest thing is just not letting this game affect us. I think, come today, tonight, I mean, you can dwell it on a little bit, think about it, but as soon as Monday hits, you got to forget everything and just be ready and prepare yourself to keep going and keep playing baseball. I mean, it's not over until it's over. So I think it's just a matter of us getting on Monday and just preparing ourselves, taking care of the little things and coming together as a team.
All right, we have a question on Zoom from David Thompson. David, go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
Thanks, Kevin. Hey, Coach. You've been in a number of these ACC title games, have yet to get a win. What makes these games so hard to win?
Probably the opponent on the other side of the field, I guess. It's you got two teams trying to win it, and I think it's tougher in an ACC championship. We played this tournament so many different ways. We played a double elimination like the SEC. We've gone to more formats, and now we have the pod situation. So I think getting to the championship game is really, really tough, and to get there, like every scenario is different. This time we were a little taxi pitching, and but I'd say it's probably the team on the other side of the field. Terrible question.
Here in the front row.
Devontae, I just wanted to ask you about Chris Billman. You've seen him go in and dominate games like he did today so often. Just what's so special about when he's on, how good he is, and just what's that confidence level like for the whole team and him when he comes into the game?
I think Chris just has that mindset that he's better than everybody else. He has that good stuff, and I think that's what makes him so special. I know, me personally, I know when Chris comes in, like I know he's going to do what he has to do, and I know he's always going to give us a fighting chance. So, and I just love Chris. He goes about everything the right way. He's grown so much since I've met him, since he stepped on campus, and Chris is just a guy that you want. He's a guy that a lot of people want on their team, and he just does so many things right, and that's all you can ask for.
Any other, we have a question on Zoom from Adam Smith. Adam, go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
Elliot, hey, just wanted to ask you about the home runs that Honeycutt hit early on. Didn't know what you thought. Did you like you guys' approach on those at bats? What did you see happening there? Because those obviously sort of changed the game pretty quickly early.
Yeah, I think on the first one, I think he might have hit a breaking ball like a breaking ball is up in the zone. And I think he'd gotten 3 breaking balls out of bat. He's a good hitter. He's locked in. He doesn't chase much. And when hitters are, Devontae can tell you, when hitters are in a zone, he's in a zone. I mean, there was a time this year that he wasn't hitting anything. They had him batting ninth, and now he feels like every time he goes up, he sees the ball as big as a beach ball, and that's a great feeling for a hitter. And I think, like I said, the first time I think he got a breaking ball that was up, and got it. And I think Willison came in. I brought Willison into a tough situation, and he got a fastball, I think, first pitch, maybe. And I hope Willison was loose. He said he was, and but obviously I don't know how comfortable he was and feeling away. And he got a fastball and hit that pretty good. But he's a good hitter. He's playing with a lot of confidence. He's a great player.
Second row here.
Yeah, Elliot, I think by my calculation, only 2 players in the starting lineup played in this game last year. And how do you guys, as Jonas said, you went on and went to the College World Series. How do you have guys like Brown and Willison, and how vital are they going to be over this next course of a week to make that flip and forget about this and then move on and try to win?
They'll be just as vital this week as they've been all season. Like Devontae broke his hamate in the fall and couldn't even play. And for a guy who has done the things he's done over the course of his career, a lot of players would have liked, if I can't be out there, they would probably been the last one out of the locker room, first one maybe. in the street to get back to where they live. But he was the first one to practice every day after he broke his hamate, last one to leave every day, first one on the cage. And he knew his value since he couldn't add value on the field, but to be value with his leadership. And that's who he is. So what he, JT, Villeman, what all those guys, Sam, even though he can't play, what all those guys have done all year is provided vital leadership. And that's why we're in this game today. And they'll continue to do that next week.
All right, in the back, Todd.
Elliot, what do you like about your team, the way you guys are playing, heading into the NCAAs? How do you like about your team playing?
Pretty much everything. We're playing really, really good. We're playing smarter. Just talk to them in the locker room. We'll take this week to regroup and focus on the things that we do well and maybe try to get that much better at some little things, because that's what it's going to come down to in a regional, because everybody there is going to be good. Everybody there is going to have a big time arm. Some team might have a great bullpen, and you got to find a way to beat everybody there. And so we'll take this week to reflect on what we're doing very well, which is a lot, and try to get that much better.
Anybody else?
Thank you all very much. Justin, you did a great job. Thank you. You did a great job. Yes, he does. He's a good person. Solid human being.
They got ASAP. Oh, so you're good? Yeah.
Maybe you did ASAP again tonight? All right.
Oh, that could be on 85 right now.
I know, right?
I just had to ask that question.
I'm about to text Dave right now.
I just had to ask that question.
I'm literally about to text him right now.
The eye roll that came out.
That's why I got my phone. I'm texting David right now.
Yeah.
About that question.
Yeah.
You could see it too, the second it came
Yeah,
out of
he's
David's mouth, the eye roll, he leaned back.
Sometimes they sound like genius in your head and then you come out your mouth. And sometimes I've had them.
Yeah, I've had them.
I equate it like free throws. If you make 9 out of 10, you're elite, but you're still gonna miss one every now and then.
Exactly. And Dave was a good sport about it. He's probably laughing about it too.
Yeah, I mean. And for what he needed, he got the quote.
Yeah,
Talking
exactly.
about the format and how that changes things. Other team usually has to be pretty good.
Like as soon as he said, I'm like, as soon as he said, I'm like, oh, David. Of all people, we gotta be.
This has been in the files of Doug. Can't ask that. It got weird.
So we got weird.
Oh, it got weird. We had a camera on him today.
What do you say, 10 minutes, 500?
Yeah.
Not one more.
Nice round number.
Sounds like a Keenan Stadium attendance.
Yeah.
30 years.
He's going. So if you're only state in the first game, they're about to make the second game. And then we choose blue.
Kevin had the hardest time ever getting out of here.
Getting out of the stadium?
Yeah.
We did too. We left well before you.
That's what I know. I stayed there. I had to write something. I had the hardest time getting out of there. I had to go all the way like down. I walked past the clubhouse.
Yeah.
I walked past all the mascot headgear and everything.
Right.
Trying to get out of here.
That's how we got out too. But,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the day before they had left the gate open. Days before they left the team store open too. But,
Yeah, that's where I came in, team store.
yeah, not this time. Sorry.
Well, at least worst case today, I know where to go.
Yeah, that's right. Where is it? That might be one of those guys. Get out here late.
Where's that?
Where do you get out? That might be one of those late guys getting out.
I think I came back through here and went all the way to the bottom floor and it's all these
He's
exercises.
not got that big.
You go past the clubhouse, you go past like band cases out there.
Yep.
Yeah. You just keep following the exercise and it'll take you right to the street.
It's technically, I think, the TV entrance. I don't know if it's marked down there.
David said I was going to ask more of a blunt question, but I guess I kind of wussed out. Like LOL serves me right. Send him David would be a good sport about it.
All right, North Carolina's on their way.
Are they on the elevator? Yeah, they're up there.
I think they're actually.
Say we're North Carolina. No, I'm glad to see you were at the scene. And I was like, you
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started with North Carolina's post-game press conference. If you're on Zoom, use the raise your hand function. If you have a question, if you're in the room, raise your hand and Justin will bring the microphone to you. We'll get started with questions after a opening statement from Coach Forbes. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, ACC champs. You know, I remember being at Virginia down, you know, like that, pretty down in the dumps too, after that walk-off win on Saturday. But I just, you know, what kept me going for this team was our team, was our players, because they've done everything right from the start of the fall, summer school guys all the way back then, in the classroom, off the field, work ethic. And I just felt like, okay, we just have to stay positive and something good is going to happen. And these guys did it. Started in the locker room with guys like Angel Zarate and Danny Soretti, Clemente Inkland. I could just roll them off. All these guys that just graduated. And that's true leadership. We all know if you coach long enough, you know, it's about those players are the ones that make these things happen. So as far as today goes, our whole approach was we wanted to win an ACC championship for the University of North Carolina's baseball program. We just happened to be playing NC State. I thought it was great for our fans, for everybody's fans. You know, to be in Charlotte, pack the house. And the story of the game was Carlson. And he's a guy up here that, you know, had that season-ending surgery, and we weren't sure if he was even going to be available this year. And I've always believed in all those years as a pitching coach that there's too much rest, and 4 days is about perfect, and he showed that today. So I'm really proud of him. And you got Vance over here, obviously, with the 2 bombs that didn't hurt, but I'm really happy for these guys and our program.
Questions? Jonas here in front.
I just want to coach or either one of the players heading into the next weekend. How do you take this momentum and kind of build off what you've done and kind of turn the season around heading into the regionals, which will more likely be in Chapel Hill next weekend?
Yeah, obviously we are feeling pretty good, but we don't want to ride the highs too high and ride the lows too low. So just going to keep our heads forward, keep working hard, and see what happens.
Second that, you know, just kind of going off of feeling good and then just getting back to work this week and get ready to play on the weekend.
Obviously, you can see by that answer by Carly over here why he's so good on the mound. He's got ice water. He's a laid-back dude, so he's exactly right. We know what our mission is, and this was one stepping stone, so we'll enjoy today, and we'll get back at it tomorrow with our normal routine, be in the weight room after the selection show.
In front row, Matt.
Nice, kind of going off coach's comments there a little bit. 4 days rest for you, second start back to back like that. Just when did you find out that you were getting the ball a day? Just kind of what was the mindset? You know, again, just short rest coming into this one.
Yeah, I was texting back and forth with Coach Forbes last night, and decided I was going to get the ball. Told him I wanted the ball, and 4 days rest as a big league rotation. Nothing I can't do, I guess.
Yeah, just tuning them up.
Yeah, I guess.
The back of the room, Todd.
Yeah, Vance, can you talk about your performance today? I mean, that's like a little league performance right there. Puts up some big numbers today. Just how nice was it? How satisfying was it to have a performance like that?
It was awesome. I mean, it was really cool.
but I mean, at the end of the day, we wanted to win, and we got that. So, I mean, someone was going to step up. I didn't know who it was going to be, but you know, this team just always works, and you know, we just kind of got in that groove, and we were able to step up and get some runs across, and guys like Carlson were able to kind of hold it down.
Front row. Vance, we talked to you last weekend about how you hadn't played any postseason baseball. Now that you've had 4 games under your belt, tournament MVP, just what did you take from these last 4 games, and what can you take into next weekend?
Just kind of win or go home, that kind of mentality. So you're just kind of playing to win the one game, and at the end of the day, you want to be 1-0. So that's kind of the mentality you have to go at, and we were able to do that this week.
Jonathan in front.
Vance, Coach Avent just now said, you know, you were in a zone. I think we all saw that this weekend and would agree. From your standpoint, what does that feel like? What does it look like when you're in a zone at the plate like that throughout the course of like 3 or 4 days?
Yeah, I feel like if you're seeing it well, you're able to spit on, you know, pretty good pitches, that off speed in the dirt, or like the changeup's low, just stuff like that. And you're able to kind of get your pitch and not kind of chase. And if you're able to do that, then, you know, you can find a barrel and good things happen.
All right, we got a couple questions on Zoom. Adam, go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
Max, I was going to ask you about Vance. What can you say about the way he's swinging the bat, the confidence he's playing with, and it must be a nice luxury to be able to sit in the dugout and watch him jack a bunch of balls out of the yard.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to watch. It's extremely fun, and you know, it's not just Vance either. It's, you know, our entire lineup, all of us, all of them can do damage, and you know, it's really a pleasure to have him out there in center field and all the other 8 guys on the baseball field, because they hold it down for us.
All right, next question is from Shelby Swanson. Go ahead, Shelby.
Hey Vance, I asked you about this a little bit earlier on this season, but I just want to go back to those mid-season tweaks that you made to your swing, kind of taking the tilt out, and how you've seen those improvements, especially with your consistency throughout this ACC championship run.
Yeah, the credit goes to Coach Weirs. You know, he's always open to work with you. And, you know, we needed to make a change, and, you know, we just kind of made a couple tweaks here and there, and it's just kind of, it's working out so far. So hopefully keep it going.
Question in the room, Jonathan.
Coach, this is the second day you mentioned that we going from that weekend at Virginia into now an ACC championship. In your mind, what's been the biggest change or turnaround from that weekend to now sitting here with a title for the baseball program?
And one thing that I felt like that our players never did, even when we were going through that tough stretch, is I felt like they still played hard and they didn't quit. You know, never quit a game, even though it was tough. And I thought that would serve them well. We just needed to find a way, you know, to win a couple close games. But you know, a lot of credit goes to the 3 assistant coaches, Coach Gaines, Coach Weirs, and Coach Howell. I mean, they do a lot of things people don't see. I spend a lot of time with these guys. And at the end of the day, we also know you have to pitch and you have to defend at a high level to be successful. And we started doing that, started with Liberty. We held Charlotte with 3 runs. And then our team just found a way to get the series done at NC State. I didn't think we played great, but we came out of there with 2 one-run wins. And I felt like that was the switch where our guys, you know, I saw their confidence start to take over. Guys were more comfortable in the box. Guys were back to being aggressive on the mound. And we talked a lot about defensively. If we can cut out the walks and the extra outs, you know, make plays defensively, we could get back to where we wanted to get. And our guys have done that.
Right.
Coach, I mean, you've talked about Vance since the moment he stepped on campus, and you know, here he is. He's the first freshman in D1 baseball to have a 2020 season since the BB Core era. Just for him to be able to make those tweaks and just stay even keeled through all this and be able to turn on the way he has down the stretch. I mean, just how much does that really kind of say about him?
Well, I Coach is in the back there, Coach Foss and Coach Bicky. I wasn't even at the camp where they decided, hey, we need to offer this kid, you know, a wiry, skinny dude back then that could really run and was fast twitch. And then COVID hit, didn't get to go see him. I know we won a state championship in football, and I was hearing great things. You know, I honestly started to panic a little bit because I thought we might lose him to the draft. And thankfully for us, Vance has great parents. They're both Tar Heels, and this is where Vance wanted to be. And just to watch his growth in such a short amount of time has been really cool. But, I see these kids every day, so I see things people don't see. And what I see with Vance is he listens, he's extremely coachable, and he works. And when you do that, you're that talented, you're going to have success.
Okay, a few more. We have one on Zoom. RL Bynum, go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
Coach Forbes, have you ever seen in your coaching career anything like the last 35 days since the Virginia series, just going from struggling big time to just you can't do anything wrong?
Well, I still feel like we do some things wrong in the dugout. That's the coaching side of me. I don't know. I'd have to really sit back and think about that. Obviously, I've been coaching a long time, but I haven't been a head coach a long time. But one thing I learned from Coach as a player and then being around him all these years is at the end of the day, when you go through something like that, all the eyes are going to one person, and that's you, who's the head coach. And you have to control your emotions. You have to stay positive with these kids and continue to work really, really hard. So, honestly, I can't say that I can remember off the top of my head. But I also remember eating dinner with my mom and dad. They went to that game. They're both 78 years old, and having a little bit of perspective in my own mind, saying, okay, I preach to these guys to live in the moment, to be in the moment. Don't look behind us. Keep your eyes ahead. And that helped me, and I think that helped our team as well, because we talked about that a lot. Todd.
Scott, not all teams head into the NCAA tournament playing really well. Some teams get in because they play well early in the season. You guys are playing really well heading in. How important is that momentum as you head into the NCAA tournament?
I mean, you guys saw it with our basketball team. Momentum is extremely important. You got to keep it. And I like the fact that it's Sunday and we play again on Friday. I wouldn't like it if we had, 2 weeks. But sports, they're very momentum based. Coach Weirs and I and Coach Gaines are huge Atlanta Braves fans. So we talked to our guys about where they were in the middle of the season. But, I heard these guys talking about it, and it made me feel really good going into the game today. They just said, this is just one step. So they know what they want, and they know how important their recovery is, and keep that momentum for us to play well. You don't celebrate, but so much you enjoy it, and then you get ready for hopefully hosting a regional at Boshamer Stadium.
Let's go back to Zoom. Shelby Swanson, go ahead.
Yeah, this is just a question for both the players. How important do you think that when the 10-0 shutout over Virginia Tech was for the momentum throughout the rest of the weekend?
I think it was big. They're very, very good offensively, and we knew that. We knew it was going to be a tough challenge that night, but we came out hot and got the bats rolling, and then Schaefer threw a great game. But I just think that win kind of was just another little block to, get us here.
Yeah, I thought that win was very, very good for us, and especially after losing the series at home earlier in the season. And that was a huge game, and credit to Schaefer. That was unbelievable. I don't think I'll ever see anything like that again.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Congratulations. Thank you. Good job, man.
I got a couple. I just, for some reason, I didn't. I don't know why you're good. I'll make sure these guys got.
Thank you all.
Congratulations. Thank you. No worries. Yeah. Go ahead. Hey, Joe, you want these name cards? Sure. Sometimes they want. What about the Staples? Forgot to ask them, but we will.
Thank you. Yeah, man.
Got a mouse. Scale. One line, one line. Here's Landy back.